kind of crazy, bro. Them 7, 8 miles, them niggas always been crazy.
I want to say happy birthday. Secondly, I want to remind you of the verse you did that made me want to quit rapping. Picture a perfect picture, picture me in a shot.
And my hands, my legs several times, like 5 times in my hands, and then in my legs, and then in my...
And look, his best friend Proof might not be the usual face you picture when you hear gangster rapper, but trust, the way they moved, it told a whole different story. There was one moment so wild, it had 50 Cent and the entire G-Unit crew left stunned. Straight out of Detroit, these two didn't even know what fear looked like, and that ruthless energy earned them serious street stripes. Let's get into it. The bond between Eminem and 50 Cent. Everybody knows their friendship is legendary, one of the realest and most unshakable duos in hip-hop. But what really pulls people in? It's how different these two are. 50 came up in the trenches, no cap. This wasn't no rap image. He was out there hustling, ducking beef with real street hitters and dodging bullets. Man got shot 9 times and still walked away like it was nothing. Eminem didn't grow up with no silver spoon either. Don't get it twisted. He came up in the roughest corners of Detroit, battling poverty, addiction, and non-stop hate just to get taken seriously as a white rapper in a black-dominated game. Yeah, M had trauma, scars, and grit, but he never faked the gangster image. He wasn't out here fronting like something he wasn't. Still, even with totally different upbringings, M and 50 locked in and built one of the realest bonds hip-hop's ever seen. But here's what barely gets talked about. Before there was 50, there was Proof. Eminem and Proof go way, way back. Same block in Detroit, same grind. They grew up side by side, battling in ciphers and tearing up the underground scene long before the world even knew the name Slim Shady. If you watched 8 Mile, the character Future, played by Makey Pfeiffer, that was based on Proof. He was the heartbeat of Detroit's battle rap scene and the one who pushed M to take it seriously. Proof was the one who got M to step into the hip-hop shop and put his bars to the test on that open mic stage. If Proof hadn't pushed him, hadn't believed in him, there's a real chance Eminem might have never made it out. Together, they were a problem. They weren't out here flashing gang signs or doing the fake tough act for cameras, but trust, they weren't the ones to mess with. They moved with real confidence, no fear, no fronting, and that kind of raw presence earned them major respect, even from certified street legends like 50 Cent and the whole G-Unit camp. And back then, if there was one name that really made people nervous, it was Suge Knight. Suge Knight was the straight-up boogeyman of the rap game back then, running death row like a mob boss, known for threats, violence, and making folks disappear. Most rappers avoided beef with him like their life depended on it, but not Proof. According to multiple sources, even G-Unit's own Tony Yayo, Proof didn't flinch around Suge. Dude would call him out to his face. One crazy story? At a party, Suge tried to walk up and shake Proof's hand all friendly, and Proof snapped, yelling at him and straight up accusing Suge of eliminating Tupac, and that wasn't no one-time thing. Proof repeatedly disrespected Suge to his face. Then came the infamous moment on the set of 50 Cent's In-Doc Club video shoot. Out of nowhere, somebody shouted, "Suge Knight is here." That one line sent the whole set into straight panic mode. Suge had pulled up deep, about 30 men strong. Many said they were tied to a Mexican gang. Classic Suge move, showing up mob style, trying to shake the room with sheer intimidation. That's how Suge operated, always popping up unannounced, flexing his muscle, reminding folks he still ran the game with fear alone. And right in the middle of all that chaos, Eminem was on set. And true to who he is, M didn't flinch. Now, if you ask Suge today, he'll swear up and down that Eminem would have never dared to check him. According to Suge, he wouldn't even need to lift a finger. He'd just get someone M's size to handle it instead. And maybe Suge believes that. But way too many folks who were actually there say otherwise. That's what really made people see Eminem and Proof in a whole new light. They had heart, stood tall, 10 toes down, no matter who stepped in their face. but the bond between them ended in tragedy. In 2006, Proof was shot and eliminated in Detroit, a loss that broke Eminem to his core. After Proof's death, M spiraled into one of the darkest chapters of his life. According to Nas, Eminem's former bodyguard, M started off clean, healthy, focused, not into anything heavy. But once the fame exploded and the pressure kicked in, plus losing Proof, everything changed. What began as light casual use for fun quickly spun into a full-blown addiction. Nas said things really went left in Baltimore, where M's own assistant manager was allegedly the one feeding it to him non-stop. Looking back, Nas said he deeply regrets not stepping in sooner, because from there, it just kept getting worse. At one point, he claimed Eminem was popping 14 different pills in a single day, a deadly combo for anyone, especially someone whose body wasn't built for that kind of load. His addiction exploded while working on his second album. Nas said M couldn't sleep and was mixing sleeping pills, ecstasy, and other stuff just to get through the night. It got so bad, the team had to literally watch him sleep, scared out of their minds that he might not wake up. Eminem stayed stuck in that dark space for a long time because Proof wasn't just a friend, he was family. Not only was Proof the first to really see M's talent, he was also the mastermind behind D12. Back in '96, Proof had a vision: create a rap crew made up of 12 of Detroit's rawest MCs, a dirty dozen. But finding 12 fire rappers from one city, that was no easy task. So they flipped the script. 6 rappers, each with an alter ego, doubling the lineup. That's actually how Eminem's Slim Shady persona was born. Every D12 member had their own split personality, and the chaos just worked. Proof became Dirty Harry, Eminem turned into Slim Shady and Bizarre. He doubled down as Peter S. Bizarre. Kiva took on Rondell Bean, Swifty became Swifty McVeigh, and Mr. Porter morphed into Con Artists. In 1997, D12 dropped their underground EP, and the buzz started booming. Members started getting shine. Bizarre was named Inner City Entertainment's Flavor of the Week. Proof won the Source's freestyle battle, and Eminem had just dropped his Slim Shady EP, the one that landed straight in Dr. Dre's hands and flipped his world upside down. But right as the dream was coming true, tragedy struck. There was another original member, Bugs. He came into D12 through his boy Swifty and played a major role in the crew's early rise. But on May 21st, 1999, tragedy hit hard. Bugs got into a deadly altercation in Detroit. He was shot multiple times and then run over by a car, eliminated on the spot. His death shattered the group. The whole energy around D12 changed overnight. At the time, Eminem wasn't even an official member, more like family who popped in. But after Bugs passed, M stepped back in to hold it down and honor the crew's legacy. What started as a quick return turned into Eminem fully locking back in with D12. The crew had a pact: if one made it, they'd come back for the rest. And M kept that promise to the letter. After the Slim Shady LP went triple platinum, M became one of the biggest names in hip-hop. But instead of ditching his day ones, he built Shady Records under Interscope just to sign D12 and give them their shine. As his star exploded, Proof joined him on the Up in Smoke tour, a tour that was basically the weed smoking Olympics, starring Dr. Dre and more. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube. It was a stacked lineup of rap royalty, and through it all, D12 kept honoring their fallen brother Bugs. They dedicated both the Marshall Mathers LP and D12's Devil's Night album to his memory. Even an old Bugs track, Desperados, made it onto the later album D12 World, renamed Bugs 97 in his honor. Devil's Night dropped with Proof leading the charge, and D12 shot straight to the top of the charts. The title, a nod to Detroit's wild Halloween Eve tradition of torching abandoned buildings, like in 8 Mile. After the album's success, the crew took a 3-year breather to live life and chase solo dreams. Proof even popped up in 8 Mile, playing the rapper Lil Tick, the one who battles M in the opening scene when he chokes. By 2004, D12 was back in the lab, cooking up their next project, D12 World, and once again, they smashed the Billboard charts. But they didn't stop there. D12 World top charts globally too, including Australia, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand, and the UK. Proof kept that momentum rolling, launching his own label, Iron Fist Records, and dropping his solo album, Searching for Jerry Garcia. But here's the chilling twist. In Eminem's Like Toy Soldiers video, Proof played the role of a friend being shot and eliminated. That scene was meant to honor Bugs, but ended up foreshadowing something way darker. Eminem later admitted he felt guilt over that scene, questioning if it brought some kind of bad karma into the air. Still, Proof and M stayed locked in until the very end. Proof even stood by him as best man during M's second and short-lived marriage to Kim, which only lasted 82 days. Now, the story around Proof's death still surrounded by confusion and unanswered questions. But here's what we know. On April 10th, 2006, Proof was out doing what he always did, having a good time, living fast, and embracing the night. Old habits pass away hard, and Proof had deep love for the city that raised him. His loyalty to Detroit ran deep, and that pride kept him close to home, even as his star rose, and he had every reason to move somewhere safer, away from shady crowds and risky energy. He chose to stay right in the middle of it all. It was a move built on honor, but it came with a heavy price. That night would be his last out in the city he loved. There are plenty of stories about what led up to it, but one thing's clear. It all went down at the CCC Club on 8 Mile Road, just before the unthinkable happened. Proof's night started chill, just him and 2 friends, hopping from spot to spot, vibing and having fun. Later on, his close friend Reginald Moore, aka Mud, hit him up asking where the party was. Proof texted back. He was at the Coliseum, a gentleman's club with 2 other homies, Mac and Chop. Mud pulled up, and now the crew was 4 deep, kicking it at the strip club, sipping, laughing with the DJ, and soaking in the night. After that, they rolled over to another hotspot, Rolex. More drinks, more energy, still having a blast. But the night wasn't over yet. They made one more move to what would become Proof's final stop, the CCC Club. By now, it was past midnight, officially Tuesday, April 11th, 2006. Inside the CCC, the party kept going, right up until the moment everything took a deadly turn. Reports say that around 4:30 a.m., things went left between Proof and a man named Keith Bender. Bender was no random. He was a Gulf War vet and former Army medic, discharged after a heart condition. Ironic twist? He was at the CCC Club that night celebrating good news about his health. Allegedly, it all popped off over a game of pool. Words got loud, tension rose, and Proof reportedly knocked Bender to the ground. That's when it turned deadly. Witnesses say Proof pulled out a gun and shot Bender twice. One hit him in the head. As Bender lay bleeding, his friend fired back. Those shots would be the ones that ended Proof's life. Both men were critically wounded and rushed to the hospital. Proof was taken to St. John's Holy Cross Hospital, where doctors pronounced him dead on arrival. Keith Bender was transported to St. John Hospital, clinging to life in critical condition. Sadly, Bender passed away 8 days later.
Suge in a party. You killed Tupac. You could ask anybody. Proof was over them 50 and that was with us. So Suge came, he had some Mexican niggas. Now we from New York. You ain't never seen a with a tattoo on his forehead. Likes the cigar, and it's about Suge. He liked the cigar, and he trying to see what you gonna do. So Eminem, 50,
As the investigation unfolded, a new twist hit. The man suspected of ending Proof's life wasn't just some stranger. He was Mario Etheridge, Bender's cousin and the CCC Club's bouncer. Etheridge quickly became the focus. He was the one who allegedly fired the fatal shots. The very next day, Etheridge turned himself in, lawyer by his side. By the next day, Wayne County prosecutor Kim Worthy hit Mario Etheridge with 2 charges, carrying a concealed weapon and firing a gun inside an occupied building. But people were heated. Friends and family of Proof were furious because one major charge was missing: eliminate. Kim Worthy tried to calm the storm, saying the investigation was still active and the elimination charge could still be added later. Etheridge pleaded not guilty and posted a $7,000 bond, walking free from Wayne County Jail. Meanwhile, the CCC Club had to face the heat too. Authorities shut it down temporarily, holding them responsible for failing to control the chaos that led to the fatal shooting. The CCC Club was supposed to shut down by 2 a.m., but locals and law enforcement knew the truth. That spot often stayed open until 7 a.m., long after other clubs closed their doors. Proof's death happened well after hours, and with 18 prior police reports tied to the club, from shootings to serious violations, this tragedy became the final straw. Detroit was shaken. The hip-hop world felt it too. When the news hit, it was clear. Proof wasn't just a rapper. He was loved. As mourning swept the city, theories and rumors about what really went down flooded the streets. The trial in September 2006 brought some answers, but also left a lot of new questions hanging. The prosecution's whole case leaned on this. Mario Etheridge, Bender's cousin and the CCC Club's bouncer, allegedly fired the first shot, a warning. Assistant prosecutor Elizabeth Walker said that warning shot was the first sign anyone even had a gun. And according to them, that's what made Proof pull his weapon and shoot Keith Bender. But that version didn't sit right with everyone. Reginald Moore, aka Mud, a close friend of Proof and eyewitness, told a different story in an October 2006 interview with XXL. Mud claimed that when they pulled up to the CCC Club, he was the only one strapped. As they got ready to leave, he saw Proof and Bender getting into a heated argument. Mud said he tried to calm things down, but the energy was already too hot. Bender reportedly yelled, "I don't care who the F you are," and then hit Proof with a sucker punch. According to Mud, folks cleared the room to let them scrap it out. But then Etheridge fired shots into the air, trying to break it up. That sparked a struggle between Mud and Proof over the gun. Proof got hold of it and fired into the air too, adding to the chaos. Then, in the madness, Etheridge allegedly fired toward them, hitting both Proof and Bender. Both wounds turned out to be fatal. Wayne County Circuit Judge Vera Massey Jones gave Etheridge time served for carrying a concealed weapon and hit him with a $2,000 fine for firing inside a building. Prosecutors stood by their claim. Proof fired first, and Etheridge was defending his cousin. They argued Etheridge's warning shots were an attempt to stop Proof before things turned deadly, and that's what led to the charge of illegally discharging a firearm inside a public space. It's heartbreaking that Proof's life ended so soon, especially when he had so much left to give. But one thing's for sure, Eminem became the legend Proof always believed he could be. That vision, it came true in front of the whole world. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're watching everything. Hit that like button if this story hit you hard. And don't forget to subscribe to stay locked in with gossip for the realest stories in hip-hop.